Hello, in this video we're looking at relinking parts that we may have broken links on by transferring or something along those lines. It's a very simple example here. You might recognise the machine part example. I've just created a lid on there, I won't bother with the holes. And I've gone into Tools, into Part Manager, and got to make sure there's no links between those. So we can now see that we've got links. So if we go and make a change on here, so if I go into this component, I'm going to have a look in the protrusion and go and find one of these values. So let's go and make that, say, 200. That's going to go and change, but that other part isn't going to go and change with it. You can see we've got an obvious issue on there. So if we go and change that back, we haven't got those parts linked together the way we need them. So if we go into this part, so I'm going to use the edit in place. So right click edit in place, or click on the part and choose the right hand option on there. So that edits into that part. Give it a few seconds to go in there. So you can see on here we've got our broken links. So we've got a obvious reason why. Okay. Probably want to ask, I've done an offset rather than a protrusion with a using Projector Sketch with offset. I just find that can be more predictable in some instances. That's the only reason I do that. So if we go into our protrusion, we can see that our plane is missing from that one, and our sketches will be no longer linked. So if we go to our first setting on there, edit definition, we can also right click, scroll just below halfway down and choose edit definition. And then we can go and have a look and see where this is. So what we're going to do is get an idea of where our sketch is. So we can see what our plane, so that's the plane that is currently undefined. So if we go back to our plane step on there, we're going to get that on there, our coincident plane. You can see it's going to be on that plane, so press and hold shift, click on that face. It's going to go and place that. It's going to say we may lose relationships, we're not in this instance, so just click OK. And that has redefined that plane option. But what we need to do is go and redefine those sketches. So if we go in there and go draw profile step. So there isn't a way to directly relink these elements. We need to go and redraw them. So the idea is, quite often what I do is do a screenshot just to make sure, if it's more complex than this, do it as a screenshot to make sure we get the appropriate elements. So in this instance, I'm going to go and remove those. And we need to go and relink those. So I'm going to use Projector Sketch. I've turned off my option on there, so you're wondering why that doesn't come up. I've just turned this little option off because I don't tend to use that very often. And we've got our different settings. We can go down. So this one, we want the outside loop of the face. So we can use the loop option. Click on the face and then click on the loop that we want. We can see that's going to highlight in orange. And then green tick or right mouse button to accept that. So we've now relinked those components on there. Loop is one of the most powerful ones because it makes sure everything is inside or outside of that face on there. If that face does end up with more geometry, it's going to get added to the loop, where some of the options might not get added. We can then close sketch. And just double check that that seems okay. So we've got that on there. Our offset, so I've done an offset, so I'm just going to tell that what faces we're actually offsetting. Because we've deleted those edges, we need to go back to our offset, our face selection step. So I'm just going to go and select the 4 faces that I want on there. I like to use fence select and then finish. Our part is now looking good on there. So I'm going to save, close and return, and then save the assembly as well. And then I'm going to go back to my peer variables, and I'm going to go and make a change to this on here as well. So if I go and find that protrusion one again, and I go and scroll across, and we go and do our 200 and update. And then if we just going to make the variable table a little bit bigger, so we've got our update button available. And if we choose the update all, that child part is going to go and update nicely on there. And then close, and we've got our part relinked. Hope that's been useful. Thank you very much.